Hello and welcome to the Weather Hazards Briefing from National Weather Service Pocatello for Saturday, September 18th. This is what you'll see in this presentation. There is a critical fire weather conditions expected again today compared to yesterday. In fact, it will spread out further, and that will be for gusty wind and low humidity. And that includes the Central Idaho Mountains, the Snake River Plain, Eastern Magic Valley, South Central Highlands, and the Northeast Highlands. So the only place really that's not in here is the Caribou Highlands and the Bear Lake Basin area. So that includes the Salmon Chalice National Forest, the Sawtooth, both north and south, the Idaho Falls district of the BLM, the eastern part of the Twin Falls district of the BLM, and then the Targhee portion of the Caribou-Targhee National Forest. The storm that's causing this and its front will arrive Sunday morning. It'll spread moderate precipitation into the northern half of the forecast area, light precipitation to the southern half. Above 7,500 foot elevation, it'll be spotty, but it'll range. There will be snow accumulation. It'll range from 1 to 6 inches. 6 inches will be mostly. That'll be above 8,000 feet, and most of it between 7,500 and 8,500 is probably more like 1 to 4. So we're looking at much cooler temperatures and really our first taste of autumn. All right, so all the weather is front loaded. You can see it's all today and tomorrow. So we have red flag conditions today for almost every location. There is some thunderstorm instability expected this afternoon, mostly along the Idaho-Wyoming border. So you see there is lightning in the southeast highlands and eastern highlands. But elsewhere, those red flag conditions are mainly, we're on a cooling trend, but the air is so dry, it is staying, by afternoon, the relative humidities are going below 15%. But that will change radically. By Sunday morning, the cloud shield from this storm will be coming in, and we're looking at a cold front passage in our western zone, so in central Idaho. It will be sometime in the morning, I would say between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. In the Pocatello area, it'll be around noon, give or take an hour, and then that front will be exiting to the east sometime in the mid-afternoon hours, heading into Wyoming. Once that moves through, as you can see here, Monday is sort of a day when there's still a slight chance of some precipitation, mainly along our border with Wyoming, especially in the western portions. High pressure will already be moving in, clearing things out. It will get very cold. We are expecting temperatures at or near freezing in the lower elevations, so do expect frost advisories or freeze warnings to be issued Monday morning, as early as Monday morning or for Monday morning, and definitely by Tuesday morning or late Monday night. It definitely looks like something will be needed for our heavily populated zones here in the Eastern Magic Valley and Snake River Plain. Once that happens, high pressure is moving in. It will dominate the area through the 7-day period, so even beyond what you see here into the next weekend. Looking at a warming trend, and since we'll have had a frost, this will be, in its technical definition, an Indian summer, where after the first frost we get summer-like temperatures returning for a period of time. All right, so here's what it's going to be looking like this morning. You can see this front is much further along advanced, but you can see not much going on in the precipitation region. It's all located ahead of this front, and it's all in the Pacific Northwest at this point. So we're still looking at temperatures pretty good. We're not quite as warm as yesterday, but middle to 70s to lower 80s for the Snake River Plain, Eastern Magic Valley, and it's still staying in the 70s for a lot of the lower elevations in the Central Idaho Mountains and especially in the Southern Highlands. And here's why we have the red flag issued. Here's part of the reason: very low relative humidity, in spite of the fact that the temperatures are cooling, except for the southeast corner, this triangle here, where we have quite a number of afternoon relative humidities going below or staying above 15%. There's quite a number of areas, the Arco Desert, craters of the moon, all the way over to the Shoshone area of very low relative humidity, some of that single digit, and then widespread in the central Idaho mountains, and then down here in the southern Sawtooth. And that will couple with these winds. These are gust winds. And so everywhere where you see in the Snake River Plain where it gets above 30, which is almost every location, we are looking, that would meet red flag criteria. If it's in the mountains, it only has to reach 25 miles an hour. And so we are easily getting that even in low elevations like Stanley that are usually rather sheltered. And you can see in Lemhi County, much, much stronger wind. And the further north you go, they're actually issuing high wind warnings. Well, we do have a wind advisory out for our central Idaho mountains, and then this portion all the way out to the Arco Desert, and actually into Idaho Falls and Rexburg, and then it sort of exits out here in the Island Park area. So this area all in here, we do have a wind advisory out for as well. And that would include the risk of some blowing dust. If you're on a freeway near an ag field, the winds will be strong enough where that could be a concern. And there we see later on during the day, still very strong here, 6 p.m. All right, here is Sunday. This is where the front will be at around 8 a.m. So you can see it's starting to move into our western area that we forecast for. You can see the gray shading there indicating critical fire weather possible, and I would say it's actually pretty likely. And then behind it you can see the mixed precipitation. That would mean rain and snow in that area shaded in blue. All right, so what's going to happen? Here's the Sunday high temperatures. Look how much they fall, as much as 20 to 25 degrees. And then here is the afternoon relative humidity. This should not say Monday, this should say Sunday. Look at how high it is. Some places staying above 70% like Burley, with all the rain that we'll be getting and the cold weather. You can see the wind is still up and elevated, but not as strong as today will be. And the winds increase here in the evening as well. You can see they're more westerly, and even some north or west-northwest winds because the front has blown through. All right, here's the snow progression. This is 6 a.m. So this is early in the morning on Sunday. You can see some really light snow up to 1 inch and maybe 1 to 2 inches at some of the extreme high elevations. And most of that is on ridge tops here in the central Idaho mountains. So very high elevation at first. Then here it is from 6 a.m. to noon. You can see it intensifies on Sunday. And then it starts to wane. The temperature's also warming at least a little bit, even because it's afternoon. There is some sunshine, so it's it's warming up weekly. But you can still see 1 to 2 inches even in the afternoon. And then here is the evening on Sunday night, so 6 p.m. till midnight on Sunday night. It's finally starting to wane in the central Idaho mountains, but you see it's intensifying a little bit in our northeast highlands. Again, though, mostly high elevations. Almost all of this accumulation that you see is above 7,000 feet. You might see a skiff of snow or a trace of snow at elevations from 6,300 to 7,500 feet in the central Idaho mountains. So even a place like Ketchum could see some. And you can see here for the very late night hours on Sunday night, so midnight to 6 a.m. Monday morning, it's pretty much relegated to our northeast corner. And this is the low temperature Monday morning. You can see a lot of near to below freezing. That's why I say frost or freeze warning may be needed. And then Monday afternoon, again, pretty cold temperatures. sort of leveling off from what they were the day before, maybe some warming on the west side. And then here's the overnight lows on Monday night for Tuesday morning. You can see it gets even a little bit colder. So be mindful of the red flag warning, basically out today from 1 p.m. till 9 p.m. today. And then those conditions end, and we get very wet and very cold very quickly with this storm that arrives on Sunday. And again, look for the frontal passage around 8 a.m. in our west, in the center of our area around Pocatello around noon, and by the mid-afternoon exiting into Wyoming. That's all I have. If you have any further questions, you can always contact the telephone number here at the bottom center, or check out the weather yourself at weather.gov/Pocatello. Thanks for watching.